Yo, 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 yo. We live at 5. Man, that was some good boxing, man. I can't lie. That was definitely some good fights, some good work. You know what I'm saying? Benevidez definitely did his thing, man. I think the nerves got the Benevidez a little bit. Um, Let me see. Drop this link in this chat real quick. That was a real good one, man. That was a real good one. Let me see. Command V. Oh, yeah, man. So that was the David Benavidez, Caleb Plant card, man. That was a real good night of boxing, man. Starting even from the YouTube prelims, man. Those was good fights. Both of them fights very very good on the YouTube prelim portion. Um, to open the fight up, we had Cody Crowley. You had Cody Crowley going up against what's my man name? Excuse me, Abel Ramos. Cody Crowley did his thing in there. You know what I mean? Cody Crowley, man, he pretty cool. Again, at mid range, at long range, he looked like he don't even belong in a boxing ring, man. But that dude just get in there, and at close range, man, he's so comfortable. Cody Crowley's so comfortable at close range, man. That is it's crazy, man. Uh, I don't know, man. I don't know what he could do. I'm not sure I ever see him as champion because the minute that Cody Crowley run into a real boxer puncher type of guy, it's not going to look well for him. That style that we see with Cody Crowley fighting, it usually don't bode well for guys over a long period of time. Just kind of that come forward, bull rush you. With guys like, and I'm just saying that because they're the champions right now, but with guys like Errol Spence, guys like Terrence Crawford, that style is just not going to work. I'm not even sure that style would work with a guy like Boots or a guy like Virgil or something like that. You just can't be trying to bull guys over and force your way on a guy. And yeah, I don't know. Either way, that's what it was. Man, that next fight, man, that Chris Colbert fight, man, that shit was, I don't know, man. Let me go back to my scorecards on that because I felt like Rayo won. I had it 96-93. Let me see. I had it 96-93. Yeah. Let me see. Let me just go back so we can make sure, man. Because I was pretty surprised by that Colbert decision. I had that fight 96-93. Obviously Rayo had the 10-8 round in the first round. But I mean, he was hurting Colbert damn near every round. He was hurting Colbert bad. Now, Colbert did have some rounds that he had won like definitively, maybe like 2 or 3 rounds. I could say like he won definitively, but I don't think it's no way Chris Colbert won that fight. Like, even if you maybe give one more round, I think it was an earlier swing round that I gave to Rayo that possibly could have been Chris Colbert. But maybe it could have been, 94, 95. Valenzuela, I just don't see. I don't see that, man. I do not see it, bro. Yeah, I mean, I ain't mad about it. Vivi said I felt like Kobe needed the last round to win that fight, and he didn't. But I'm not mad about it. I mean, I'm not mad about it either. I thought Rayo was a little better than kind of what we seen. So really, and I was one of them guys that was real high on the Rayo hype train. But I mean, obviously, it shows that that's not a fight that I don't know. Rayo, he's not that guy. Vivi said, and apparently they gave him the last round. Yeah, I think two of the judges gave Chris Colbert the last round, and only one of the judges gave it to Rayo. And I felt like Rayo won that last round, and like right before the round was over, he hurt Chris Colbert bad. Like he had him hurt bad. I don't know, man. This is I think this was a good night of boxing, great night of boxing. After that fight, we had the Jesus Ramos and Joey Spencer fight. I don't know what the fuck Joey Spencer was in the ring doing. Joey Spencer was in there tripping, man, like standing in front of Jesus Ramos. He wasn't trying to box. He had his head in the A slot all night. He wasn't moving, got knocked down in the first round, continued to just try to stand in there and thug it out with Jesus Ramos. I just couldn't understand that at all. Obviously, his team threw in the towel win, corner stoppage. What was that? Round 7, I think it was 7 or 8, if I'm not mistaken. They stopped that Jesus Ramos fight. But yeah, man, Jesus Ramos, man, I want to see him in with Fundora. I'll take that. I'll take the Fundora fight with him. I'll take Charles Conwell. I think that'd be a really, really, really good fight. And you're gonna keep hearing me scream Charles Conwell's name because I think that he definitely one of them ones that need to be on that main stage, especially as we talking about fighters at 154, which is a very deep division. We see fighters that's in that division and that need to be spoke about. And he one of them guys for sure. Chris Colbert is one of the names that I think that we need to definitely talk about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. This and then lastly, you got the fucking you got the let me see. My man Johnny said that was a great card from Showtime, man. Yeah, that was, man. I can't complain. That was a very good card, man. Very, very good card. Great card. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, in that final match, man, you got Benevidez versus Caleb Plant, man. This is kind of really how I really envisioned that fight. You know what I'm saying? Caleb Plant was doing a lot of holding. Man, like first of all, before we even get into the fight, that was horrible reffing by Kenny Bayless, man. We done seen Kenny Bayless interject himself into too many fights for them to keep letting this shit go like that. You know what I'm saying? My man Vivi said that fight was never in question to me, especially after seeing the size difference. Ramos took a huge step down fighting Joey. Yeah, man. I mean, but at the end of the day, I think that ability-wise, yeah, it might have been a step down, but also you got to look at it like this, VV. Spencer was a guy that they was pushing. So he might have could have fought a better quality guy, but not got the same recognition or respect for it. Spencer was a guy that they was pushing. A lot of talk about him being what he is, but he not. I mean, we all knew that Joey Spencer wasn't the goods. That was no secret. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, I just don't even. I feel like after he got knocked down in that first round, Joey Spencer packed that shit in. He knew he wasn't gonna win. You could see it on his face. You could see like the you know what I mean? He was he was trying to talk himself into the fight. Joey Spencer he already knew what time it was. He knew that shit was a wrap, man. Either way, hey guys, I got the link to the live in the chat. So if you want to, just hit the link, come on and jump in. You know what I mean? We're gonna talk about these fights. I'm gonna be on here definitely for a little while. You know what I mean? But that Benevidez fight, man, that Benevidez fight was crazy work, bro. I mean, that like I said, man, Kenny Bayless, he got a way, man. He got a way of just interjecting himself in the fights that I don't like that shit, man. I don't like that, man. This dude, man, he did not do what he was supposed to do. He did not do his job, man. This dude, he didn't warn Caleb Plant no times. Looked like he was ready to take a point away from David earlier for the the glove shit. But it's like, yo, what the fuck David's supposed to do, man? This dude now. Granted, I feel like if a referee gonna let you hold like that, that is the blueprint to beating a fighter like David Benavidez. That's the blueprint. You got to go in there. You get what I'm saying? You got to get your shot off, get your punches off, and then hold as possible. You get what I'm saying? Hey, Cal, what's good, my boy?
Brody, what do you do? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you good. I can hear you good.
Yeah, man. I was in the other little thing, man. I didn't know you was on, but shit, I came looking to check to see if you was on because it's too many and I couldn't really get nothing off. But what it do, man?
You're chilling, man. Chilling. How you feel about that, man?
I'm all right, man. Where we starting at?
Man, well, I already well. You know what? I want to talk about the Benevidez for a little bit. Then we can start back at the bottom. Let's start back at the bottom.
You want to go from the bottom?
Yeah. So Abel Ramos, Cody Crowley. They got the decision at the end. How you felt about that fight?
Okay, so that was the one I was least interested in, and it looked like it should have been the co-main that I was least interested in because we knew exactly how that one was gonna go. But yeah, man, I didn't think I was gonna enjoy that Crowley fight as much as I wanted to. I didn't really see nothing new from him. I mean, I saw everything that I expected. I mean, he one of them kind of fighters where if you're not that familiar with him, like I kind of wasn't, I heard his name around the space lately because, this fight was coming up. But he one of them kind of fighters where when you look at his record, you know exactly what kind of fighter he is.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of, you know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, besides that, man, I mean, that's pretty much what I was expecting with that fight.
Yeah, I think Cody Crowley, I mean, he a guy that could give you some trouble. I'm not sure if I see him winning a world title or not. Now, maybe if they vacate all the belts and everything just in the air, maybe he could possibly fight his way to one. I just don't see him beating a guy like a Thurman or even a guy like a Ugas or a Spence or a Bud or fucking OTs or Boots. Like his fighting style is just so nasty, and it's to the point where like he don't even look like he know what he doing at mid range. Like he looked like he not even supposed to be fighting when he had long and mid range. Like he could only fight on the inside. Hey, Vivi, how you felt about that Crowley and Abel Ramos?
I mean, I felt like Abel Ramos completely threw the bag away in that fight. I think specifically that right uppercut was working very well early on in the fight, and he gave up on it. He landed that every single time he threw that punch, and he just stopped throwing it. But it was a really good fight. It was entertaining. But yeah, no, I think if Cody Crowley fights someone like specifically Ugas or like Keith Thurman, he's going to be in a world of trouble, and I don't think he makes it out of that fight, in good shape.
Yeah, no, that was. Yeah, he gonna be okay. Like he gonna definitely be exciting to watch. But yeah. Hey, my man Brian was good, man.
What it do?
Hey man, who was fighting in that joint, man?
Man, some jump fighting the police, man. They got up on him though. That's why everybody stood up at the beginning of the third round.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about 8 of them on his ass.
Well,
hey, what fight we talking about?
I was talking about the Crowley, but like, how was the crowd in there, man?
Man, that crowd was nice for that jump. That was nice. Even Caleb Plant had a lot of fans in there, which was surprising to me.
Yeah.
But that game was nice.
Yeah, man. Hey, did it look like on like, so obviously we watching on TV, so we got a different perspective of you. Did it look like Kenny Bayless was like doing too much, man?
You ain't see my tweets doing way too much. Like my thing is with it, right? I think Plant would have been touched that canvas if Kenny wasn't in the middle of it. I think he would every time they tie together, he's stopping it. Like he breaking it up. Like, nah, you gotta let them, roughhouse a little bit. You see every time Caleb Plant tie up with David Benevidez hit him with the right every time. And he was wobbly with some of them, but Kenny every time they come. Even when Caleb Plant legs is wobbly and he tie up, he's stopping it. Like he breaking them up. Like, nah, let David get some work up in the trenches like that. He was doing way too much for me. And even at times when they wasn't tied up, he keep real close having his hands up. Like, nigga, watch out.
Man, I wish I had a culinary hat to give you right now, Brody.
Huh?
I said I wish I had a culinary hat to give you right now.
Why you say that?
Well, I'm cooking.
You cooking, man. Hey, I was thinking the same thing, man. I was like, man, if it wasn't for Kenny in the way, man, that motherfucker would have been on the ground.
He would have been on the ground, man. He would have. That's why I'm like, man, watch out, y'all. You doing too much.
Kenny wouldn't let my man work on the inside, man. And I'm talking about they wasn't even tied up. Sometimes they was just on each other, and you in the way. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
And at the times he did let him work, man, David was in there. I don't understand this strategy. And I doubt Brad, man, worked with him on this. But Caleb Plant would tie up, right? And then just forget about even protecting himself when they get untangled or when they even in there. He just was getting hit. Like, what the fuck is you doing?
Yeah, that. But you know what? That's really how you supposed to fight a pressure fighter. You supposed to, get your shit off and then tie him up, let the ref break y'all up, and then reset back in the center of the ring.
And that's fine though. That's fine though. But he wasn't protecting himself when they break up or when they even together. He was just letting David just do whatever. I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, I feel like Caleb Plant wasn't really clinching for any like specific reason. It was just kind of like he would, throw like 3 or 4 punches. Benevidez would get inside and he'd just clinch and hold on. And it took Benevidez like 7 or 8 rounds to realize that and start pushing him back, and using his strength against him. And that's kind of when, Benevidez started to have some success in the clinch. But, Caleb Plant was just fucking like anytime Benevidez would win like arm range. Like he was clinching. So I don't think he was like thinking about like, oh, I gotta pick myself. It's like, oh, let me get the fuck away from this guy.
But see, Vivi, I agree with you. I'm not mad at that. That's like the Andre Ward way, right? I'm not mad at that. They clinch him up sometimes and turn him like Caleb was doing. But as the fight went on, when David Benevidez like started noticing that, man, he started whipping his ass every time he did that. I'm like, what are you doing, Caleb?
Yeah, that shit was crazy work, man.
I'm waiting on that post-fight press conference gonna come on in a little while. I'm gonna watch that on the phone while I'm still on.
Hey, one question, y'all. Oh, go ahead.
I was about to say, oh no, go ahead. Ask your question first, because I got
Hey,
something.
I don't know who he beats, but Chris Colbert ain't beating nobody else, right?
Bro, you think did you have him winning that fight?
I had it a draw.
Hey, either
I
draw.
had it a draw.
I said at the end, if it's not a draw, you got to give it to Colbert.
Hell
I
no.
prefer to see the draw, but
I
mean,
said draw. I said draw a Rayo, but I wouldn't have been mad. I really wanted to draw, but I think Rayo.
yeah, I think
Colbert
they should
came back, but I think Rayo won.
Yeah, I think Raya was hurting him way worse.
But Truth,
Yes, he
come
was.
on, don't be like that, Truth, because you be the main one who always say how this shit gets scored. It ain't about who hurting it, bro. If I control a round for 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and then you hurt me somewhere within the last 45 seconds, bro, that don't give you that round.
Yeah, but I just don't think, like, even with, like, he wasn't like, now it was some rounds that Colbert like controlled, like, for real.
Yeah,
like
okay.
it was a couple, like, I want to say it was like 2 rounds that Colbert really was like styling on Rayo in. But all that other shit,
Agreed.
he was getting hurt, he was shelling up, he's screaming and yelling, like, come on, man.
See, you took away 1 point from him because he corny, bro. That's what you did.
No, bro. and I was
I did.
He boxed well. He was boxing well at points. He stood in the pocket more than I think he was. I thought that he was going. I thought that I thought that Colbert was going to stink up the joint and box and move and box and move and box and move. But he ain't do that. But I still don't think that he did enough to beat Raya. Like, that shit was crazy to me. I had it 96, 93. I could have had it 95, 94 Raya by 1 round. I didn't even see a draw. I didn't see no draw.
So my thing is, the only reason why I scored the draw, because I honestly think that Rayo gave some of them rounds away. I don't think he lost because of Colbert won the draw. I think he just gave it away. I think he was looking a little gas in some of them rounds. I don't know if he was punching himself out or what, but that's the only reason why I gave it a draw. I think Colbert came back to have some good rounds, but I think Rayo landed some powerful shots on Colbert. But that's why I don't know who do he beat at 135. Even if it's a rematch, Rayo
Nobody.
win that.
Yeah,
I think Colbert. I don't know who Colbert gonna beat, man. I really don't know.
So look, the way I look at this situation, right back on the main event. This is how I look at this situation.
Yeah.
You see how they keep saying Crawford stopped Porter and Spence went rounds with Porter.
Yeah.
That's how I look at this fight, because even though Crawford stopped Porter, I still got Spence beating Crawford. So even though Canelo stopped Plant and David went rounds, I still got David beating Canelo. And when I look at that fight, bro, and I look at how David fought that fight, Canelo not gonna be on that back foot like how Plant was. Canelo gonna try to come forward, and I think that's gonna be for an early match.
I don't know, because Canelo cracking, and that's one thing I'm not going to let go. Canelo is definitely cracking, and even with Caleb Plant, man, like he like, and if Caleb Plant had a real gas tank, I think he could have. Like, he just got tired and couldn't do the shit he was doing in the first 6 rounds no more, and he had to sit down with him. But Canelo cracking for real. Canelo gonna go to David body crazy, and he not gonna be throwing no straights to the body. Canelo gonna be hooking to the body. Canelo be, that throwaway punch with the uppercut. Yo, Canelo got a lot. Like, he gonna be landing on Benevidez. Like, even when, like, Caleb Plant not that strong of a puncher for real. Hey, Slim, what's good, my boys? Ron Boy in the building. Caleb Plant not that much of a puncher, but Canelo for sure. Yo,
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, just real quick. My bad. My server's breaking up. I agree with you, right, D? But because I never thought Benevidez was a big puncher. Even though he accurate with his shits, I don't think Canelo, he can hit. You hear me? He's strong.
Yeah.
I don't think Benevidez is strong at all.
Yeah.
And
like I say, like, I hear what you're saying too, Kyle, but this the thing. All Canelo need is for you to let him slide by them first 6 rounds, like how he just let Caleb Plant slide by. If you let Canelo slide by them first 6 rounds like that, and you get, okay, Canelo is somewhat fresh going into the 7th, and Benevidez fresh going into this, I got Canelo, bro. because
I fuck
you
with
let
Canelo, man.
Canelo,
That's my boy.
you let Canelo pick that pace like that. But you know what? Honestly, I'd rather see Charlo first. Because Charlo is another guy, he jabs strong, and that motherfucker could punch for real.
I'd
He
rather
was in
see
the building,
right now.
too.
I'd rather see Charlo against Plant. I'd rather see that, bro.
I think
Because
he washes
we don't know what we
I
get
think
with
he dropped
Charlo
Plant.
right now, bro.
Yeah.
I think he dropped Plant. I think he get him out there early. I think he got him out the way early.
We don't know what we get with Charlo.
I think Charlo get Plant out the way.
I think Charlo, Andrade, and Plant need to chill out together.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I still think David Morrell could beat Benevidez.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, tonight, really, you know, like I think Morel will beat him convincingly. Benavidez's lack of offense in the first 6 rounds was very concerning. Like, he is a slow starter, so you know, I'll give him a little bit of leniency, but like he was not going to the body or anything. He wasn't switching anything up. Like,
He ain't even jabbed for like the first 5 rounds.
Right. He's generally one of the more accurate jabbers in boxing, but you know, it was non-existent tonight. It was concerning to me personally.
Nah, but Benevidez, but you know what? But Benevidez, like, I think they game, and I tweeted that too. I think their game plan was just take Caleb Plant to deep waters, and we know Caleb Plant gas out, and as he started to gas out, just start to step on it. And let's be truthful, we all know what we saw. Like, what happened is what happened, but we know what we saw. Any other referee in there, Caleb Plant probably gets stopped.
Yeah, if it was the referee from the fight before that.
Yeah, I thought Plant would get stopped in that 8th round, to be honest. But yeah, Kenny Bayless loves splitting the action up and loves clinching.
Ron
Boy said Benevidez will work Morrell over. I don't know, bro.
He gonna cook Morrell.
I don't know.
He gonna
Morrell
cook
got
Morrell,
that Cuban boxing style. He gonna be turning that boy.
Ain't nobody could fuck with the monster except for Maul. If he get back to the Maul that he was, and Canelo. Them the only two that could probably
sleep too. Ain't David Morrell a southpaw too? Don't sleep.
Hey Cal, also they started calling Morrell the monster. So which monster are you talking about?
You know which monster I'm talking about.
The real monster, Morrell.
Yeah, there's only one.
Hey, the real monster, Belanga.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, yeah, sure.
You got 10 monsters in the sport of boxing right now.
Yeah,
we have a monsters party, monsters ball.
The only real monsters, man, is David Benavidez and Tank.
And anyway, right?
And in a way, yeah. Let's not forget in a way, but you know that's in the Stickman League.
Yeah, that's crazy work, man. This was a real good fight though, man. That was a real good fight, man. I think I do want to see Benevidez and Charlo next. I don't want to see Canelo just yet. And we're not going to see Canelo just yet because Canelo got a fight in 2 months in May. And then I don't know. I think we might fuck around and get Benevidez Morrell, man. Yeah, that Charlo Benevidez buildup would be crazy too.
Yeah, because
that be crazy.
I don't know though, because see, I think a lot of people get Jamal confused with Mel. Maul don't be as mad as Mel be. I see Maul only being a little bit more crazier than Plant. Like Maul got like a chill vibe. You feel me? Now
he's still gonna pop his shit,
huh?
I think he's still gonna pop his shit though.
I mean, it depends on if he has something to drink or not.
Yeah, but you know, the thing is, Benevidez is gonna talk his talk. I remember they had it back and forth for some months. They was going back and forth with each other over that fight meters and I mean, so they had a back and forth for a while. So I mean, shit.
B-hop on now.
Huh?
I said my boy B-hop on now.
I came off a 13-month layoff.
Post-fight.
I mean, compared to Mel, I don't think Jamal is as like unprovoked as him. But you know, if you really start to start talking your shit about Jamal, he's not just gonna let you bitch him out. You know what I mean? Like he gonna talk shit back.
No, yeah. No, that shit was I don't know, man. I do think Cobra definitely showed me something. Like he definitely showed some heart. Like I don't know what happened with that. Hey, Kyle, you gonna have to mute because that shit might take. You know what I mean? It might you know what I mean? It might hit the algorithm joint. Let me see. I got you. Yeah, but nah, VV, that shit, man. I think Cobra got to go back to 130 though. I don't think he could stay at 35. No way.
Yeah, no, I agree. Colbert showed a lot of heart. I was kind of questioning that after the Hector Garcia fight, but he proved me wrong. I believe like one of his eyes, if not both of his eyes, were shutting around the seventh round, sixth round, and he overcame that, and he looked pretty good. Like Valenzuela was having success in splurts, exploding on him, but like outside of that, I thought Colbert was having a lot of success just boxing him. The issue comes that like Colbert was getting hurt every single time Valenzuela exploded on him.
Yeah.
I thought Ryo still won that fight. I thought Ryo won 5 rounds, but I don't know. Like I feel like the huge issue here was like Colbert was just way too small for Valenzuela, which is kind of like what I predicted. He just couldn't hang because the size was so drastic.
Exactly. I don't know. Let me see. So why wouldn't Canelo Benevidez fight this September? Because he want Bivol again.
He was being a sore loser. He should have never been a sore
Hey,
loser.
Colbert just said he's not staying at 35. He's going back to 30.
Yeah, I know he is. Of course.
He was being a sore loser.
He said he just took that fight to come back, but I'll be back.
Yeah. Can we talk Benevidez framing plant and throwing those inside punches? He had to. And then with Benevidez too, man, one thing that, like, again, I'm just like, I just watch for technical shit. I think Benevidez could have changed that whole fight if he would have just started taking a half step back, get his shit off, half step back, throw it, jab. Caleb Plant gonna do whatever he do, just a half step back. He was just standing like the footwork issue was on full display, but that motherfucker gas tank just make up for everything, man. Benevidez, like, even when he looked tired, he's still throwing, and he throwing with like his heart. He throwing his hardest shit. You know what I'm saying? He was like overreaching for a lot of them punches and shit, just like I saw in the Tyrone Davis fight. He was like overreaching to the body with a lot of them shits, man. But nah, man, Benevidez, he definitely he proved himself tonight to me. He proved that he really one of them guys now, for real. If Nello fight Bivol, Samson will make the Morrell fight. I'd rather Bivol versus Better Beef for undisputed. Yeah. We're gonna see. He said my eyes tell me Canelo will have his way with Davey. Nah, I mean, I would love to see that fight next if they would make it. If they make that fight next, I'd love to have that joint next. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like the huge elephant in the room is still Canelo's gas tank and his ability to handle a jab. Benavidez doesn't really have good footwork, like Bivol did, or like even Golovkin.
Yeah.
Well, obviously he doesn't have as good a footwork as like Lara or Floyd or Trout or people like that. But like those are still things that have troubled Canelo and still continue to trouble Canelo. So I think at the very least it's an interesting matchup. Though I do think Canelo would win pretty convincingly.
Word. Yeah, I think Canelo will win too. But nah, we will have to see. I mean, I do think that's a 50-50 fight. I'll say that. I would favor Canelo. I think a lot of people would favor Canelo, but I will say that's a 50-50 fight for sure. And I don't take nothing away from Benevidez for going 12 with Caleb Plant, because you had a referee that was fucking interjecting himself the whole fight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely not going to take nothing away from David. But yeah, I think that Canelo fight with him is 50-50. But I think that, like, even beyond that, I'm really thinking Jamal Charlo, and I'm saying that because, or David Morrell, because like, what do we do next? Like with like. We can't go back to fucking. He can't fight Uskatiki next, bro. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, he can't fight Vladimir Shishkin next. Like, we gotta go to the next level. It need to be a Charlo or a Morrell. I really want the Morrell fight. I really would like to see that Morrell fight next. If Canelo going to do other things for September, excuse me. If Canelo gonna do other shit for September, man, give me that Morrell fight, man. Give me that Morrell fight. Let me see two big dudes like Morrell, not no small guy at all. Like, you know what I mean? Let's see them go off. Let's see them fight each other. I'm hearing Morrell's supposed to be on this Tank undercard. So really, they on the same schedule. March, they fought a month apart. We could meet them in September, October, whenever. Let's get it done.
Yeah, no, I think Charlo is definitely the play here, especially if he's able to get back in the summer. But Morrell would be the ideal fight here. Although I also don't think that'll happen because if Morrell does beat Benavidez, then you're in a really weird position where like he's not really intriguing for a Canelo fight, and you've kind of blown that Canelo payday. Because I mean, someone fighting in Minnesota in front of 2,000 people isn't really going to bring in fucking Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, that's true. But I
think the Charlo fight really makes sense, even for both of the fighters, because that's going to be both of their biggest fights, and then you kind of like knock one another off of the totem pole for Canelo as well.
Yeah. Shit, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to. Where does Caleb Plant go from here?
I mean, I have no idea, right? Because he's made so much money not in this fight and in the Canelo fight, where it's kind of hard to go, give him someone that's like a lesser known name and throw him on the undercard or something like that. Like he's going to want big fights. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we only see him like once every year and a half against like a decent sized name, like a I don't know who could be next, like Charlo or Andrade or something like that. I don't think he'll be taking any like high risk, low reward fights from here on out.
Ron Boy said, why would Morrell fight Benevidez when he did WBA Reggie? Because he ain't never getting that fucking Canelo fight. That's why.
Yeah, that's never happening.
He's never getting that Canelo fight. That shit is never happening. Never. So it makes sense. Unless now we might hear the WBA just call the mandatory and say, hey, Canelo, consolidate or vacate. I respect that. I still don't think he'll fight Morrell, but I respect that. You know what I mean? I think he would Morello to be the WBA champion, and it would probably make a Benevidez fight. I don't think there's no way in hell that literally the only way that Canelo will fight him is if they mandate it, and I just don't see that. I don't see the mandating. I don't see the mandating Canelo to fight David Morrell. What's good, my boy?
My bad. On the elevator. Service messed up. What were we talking about? What were we talking about?
That's another one. I ain't even think about that. Maybe he could fight Andre.
Benevidez?
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, no, that's a really good fight too.
I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but even I know he's been out the ring for what, a year or two before his last fight. But he did not impress Andre, man.
Andre lately he haven't been too impressive. You know what I'm saying? His impressive days when he was at 54, he was wiping motherfuckers' nose at 54. But since he been 60 and in these most recent fights, he ain't really been looking like too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he didn't look good that last fight. It was just like, is this who's been calling out Canelo all these years? Like, I'm not saying before he wasn't, that, but it's like, if this what you coming to the table with, man, I don't think you gonna get that fight.
Yeah, he's just a difficult. He's never getting a Canelo fight. He's just a difficult guy. He a difficult guy. I would like to see Benevidez in with Andre, Morrell, Charlo. I think any of them three at PBC, that got to be the next fight. And I mean, Charlo, I don't know what Charlo going to do next, but Andre, Morrell, them two viable options. Charlo, let's let him get his one in. Maybe we see Charlo. I know Hitman been screaming he want to see Charlo versus Danny Jacobs. I don't want to see that, but hey, maybe we get that at the Barclays or something like that. Make some noise, make some money, and then he'll go see Benevidez. But yeah.
And I think all three of them need to get off the Canelo train. Not that he's a real, but Andre. Y'all can fight each other and still make great fights. Now, we don't want to see Canelo. Like he's going off into the sunset. Like I don't want to see that shit.
I think the play here is definitely Benavidez and Charlo. I think that for their history, and then like Andrade and Morrell, because I don't think Andrade's a long-term option for PBC, to be honest. Especially because he's 34, he's very clearly weathered. He's slowed down a lot, and his style is just so concerning. He starts off so hot and then slows down those middle rounds. He starts to gas out. He has these lapses defensively. He's so poor on the front foot that he's almost like strictly confined to the back foot. And I don't know, but I think especially with his age, and he's not going to be fighting 2-3 times a year. He's not going to be bringing in a load of money. I think they're going to look to get rid of him, give him like Morrell or Benevidez.
Yeah. Let him put somebody over, just like the motherfuckers doing wrestling. Let him put somebody over. Let him put Morrell over as a good win, and then let Morrell You know what I mean? Stomp with everybody else. The wild card here is really Charlo. Charlo really the wild card here. I could see Charlo winning a fight at 160 or winning a stay busy fight or some shit like that, and then fighting Caleb Plant. But I do want to see, like I said, I do want to see Charlo fight Benevidez. I do want to see that. I like Charlo's strong ass jab. I want to see how that worked. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? My man Jay Reddy was good. I mean, what Ron Boy said, you would never see no damn Morel Benevidez before one of them fight sentiment is not. What's up? Before one of them fight sentiment is not happening. Well, we'll see. They got to come with that bag for Canelo, and the way it's looking like for Canelo is looking like John Ryder, Dimitri Bivol, and Edgar Berlanga. So, yeah, and I'm sure I don't know. I'm just having a rough time seeing any of these sanctioning bodies look at Canelo and say, "Yo, we calling this mandatory for you." No, I mean, unless it's the mandatory that Canelo won. We bow out, but Canelo overall, you know what I mean? WBC ain't doing that shit. David Benevidez is gonna be sitting there waiting. He got 20 interim titles on his shoulder. That shit don't mean nothing. He's gonna be waiting. So we gonna see.
I don't think Canelo will be fighting Berlanga. I think Diego Pacheco moving up to number 3 in the WBO was a power move. Because after John Ryder's out of the way, the interim title is vacant. And then next up would be Demetrius Andrade, I think. So if you can make that Pacheco and Berlanga fight, Berlanga's number 5, right? So by default, one of them would likely move ahead of Andrade to become an intriguing option for Canelo. It's like, oh, we got this payday for you. You come back to matchroom because after John Ryder, Joshua Buatsi left. So Bivol rematch is really all Eddie Hearn has to, bring Canelo back, get more paydays out of Canelo.
Yeah. Nah, that's a fact, man. But again, like I said, Berlanga said that he was already promised a Canelo fight. I don't know how true that is, but that's what he said. And he went as far as this, not to just say that he was promised a Canelo fight. He was saying that the fight will have a rematch clause. So he would have to fight Canelo 2 times, is what he said. So I don't know. When a guy get to talking like that, I'm sure they put something in his contract that, hey, if you get past these 2 opponents of our choosing, then you get a crack at Canelo. And I'm telling you,
that's my thing though. Be like that's what I got a problem with Canelo for. Like, why would you want to? I'm not saying he's going to take the fight, but why would you want to fight fucking Berlanga over fighting one of them? Like,
yeah, because Eddie gonna pay you close, if not more, than what you would get from PBC. Even if PBC
that makes sense.
more money, Eddie would pay him damn near close to what PBC will offer him. You know what I'm saying? So if you know that this guy gonna pay me close for a fight that's not as hard, and a guy like Canelo's 60-something fights in.
Yeah, he got a lot. I think he should retire.
Like, word, like, you gotta think. Like, it ain't that many fighters with 50 fights right now. No, for Canelo got 60.
Didn't he have like 30, 40 fights when he fought Floyd?
Yeah, I think he was like,
he was like 42 fights in or something like that.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? That shit, bro. Canelo got, a hell of fights. So again,
I'm not mad at him for taking some of these fights. Some of these fights, he don't take too much damage, Like, I ain't mad at him. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I mean, they decent opponents. I'm not saying that his resume ass at all. I'm just saying, why wouldn't you want to take one of those big fights like the Charlos or one of them, or instead of Berlanga? Because you can watch Berlanga easily.
Yeah, but then he gonna get a bag for that. Canelo got 62 fights, man.
That's crazy.
Motherfucker got 62 fights. That is wild. Let me see. When he fought Floyd, you said how many had when he fought Floyd?
I think those are like 42, 43.
Let me see. Canelo. Yeah, he was 42. He was 42 and 0. 42
he had 42 fights. They talking about he wasn't ready. Fuck out of here.
I mean, he was also number 8 pound for pound on the Ring Magazine's list.
He had 42 fights, and Canelo and Floyd had 44. And on top of that, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Canelo was unified at that time.
I mean, he was coming off that Austin Trout win too. Austin Trout was a pretty good fighter.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all real quick. Do y'all think this was Even though he beat him pretty clean, like coming from the 6th through the 12th, or 7th through the 12th. But do y'all think that this is the level for David Benavidez, or did he just fight to the level of Caleb Plant, or was it just 50-50 to
I, I,
the point where?
I
Yeah,
think that I think that Caleb Plant, I think that David Benavidez, in a sense, right, in a small sense, I think he did exactly what Boots did in DC. And I think that that moment was big. He seen them fans making noise, and he was like, I got to put on a show. He abandoned the jab. He was over. But, I mean, we already knew the footwork issues that Benavidez had. It was no secret. But he abandoned the jab. He was whiffing punches earlier. He was letting Caleb hit him and letting Caleb style on him and shit like that. Remember, Caleb even did the Matador thing on him a little bit
Caleb was
earlier.
looking good with all that. He
Yeah,
looking good with all
like,
that.
yo, when them first 6 rounds, yo, Caleb and Tony Harrison,
Okay.
same fucking
Yeah,
guy. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Same guy, bro. Same guy. But I just think that David Benavidez let the moment get to him. Like, and then granted, he had he finished strong, like you said. He finished strong as hell. But I think that he let the moment get to him because he was looking to stop him. He was looking to put on performance. He was looking to live up to that Mexican monster
I
moniker
can
that
agree
they
with
was.
that.
But I think his
And they,
next fight he'd be way more calm. Like, I don't think his next fight he gonna come out with as jittery or as emotional as this. And I'm glad that
but
they pieced it up at the end too.
who will be his next fight to beat? Because I don't think his next fight will be bigger than this.
Gonna be who?
I don't think his next fight gonna be bigger than this.
It can't be because it's just this was a real rivalry though. It wasn't like if they wasn't. I don't think this fight would have been that big if they didn't have that beef. Now it would have been a big fight for sure, but it was the beef that made the fight. It was the beef that made the fight really blow up. You know what I mean? So we'll see. They're about to do everything to have Canelo Bivol too. Shout out Colbert. He proved me wrong. Not mad he got the decision. Everybody cried the robbery is illusional. I mean, hey Rito, man, I ain't like it, man. I think he lost. But again, yeah, I think he lost by at least 2 rounds, personally. That was my card. Now I did tweet that I had a swing round, which means that I think one of them rounds, like I said, I could see 90, I'll give it 96, 93. I could see 95, 94. Or even a draw.
But listen, even if Rayo won, right? Yeah, I don't think neither one of them was gonna win the next fight.
Nah.
I don't think neither one of them are gonna be top tier fighters.
Chris Colbert can't be Hector Garcia.
I don't think Rayo can. I don't think Rayo can.
But I'm saying Chris Colbert saying he's going back down to 130, but he cannot.
Oh, you talking about Hector Garcia? Yeah. He can't be Hector Garcia. I don't look at Chris Colbert and I would put my money on. I'm sorry, I just won't do it.
Chris Colbert showed a lot of chin problems, and I don't think he beat nobody. I think with this fight, he showed. I don't even know how you these two in the same sentence, but he showed more dog, but his chin looked like it's worse.
Well, but the thing was he was never even a big puncher at 130. So you move up to a weight class you pack 5 extra pounds on, and you already ain't cut like that.
And you're fighting one of the biggest dudes in that weight.
Yeah, and Rayo a big motherfucker. Like, he not no little guy. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? So again, I was just surprised that Rayo couldn't finish him. Like, when he dropped him in the first round, I said, "Oh yeah,
me too."
I thought it was. I didn't think it was going to go 3 rounds.
Me neither, because he was hurting that motherfucker.
It was some other times in that fight when he called Cobra, guys. Oh yeah, Cobra going out, and he did not go out.
Yeah,
that was that dog.
My man Cozy said, Rito said, you think he lost clear? It was mad swing rounds. Rayo let him off the hook, and I had Rayo winning. Man, I think Rayo fought off the back foot a little too much. I think I want to say like that second or third time that he hurt Colbert, he went for it. He went for that shit. He was gassed. He gassed himself trying to go for that shit. Colbert covered up well, but
man, shit, 2 swing rounds cancel each other out. I ain't had no more than 2 swing rounds.
And you say you had Colbert winning, right, Kyle?
Yeah, I had Colbert by 1.
Damn. I don't know. And what you have, VV?
I had it 95, 94 for Ryo.
So okay, I can see that. I in no way I don't see him winning though. That's crazy to me.
My call was the exact same as the judges.
Damn.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
But again, I don't see neither one of them winning a title at 135. Even though you said that Chris Colbert said he's gonna go back down to 130. But
David,
I don't see neither
David
one
on
of them.
now.
Oh, David doing the press conference now?
Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all know what happens.
I bet.
Yeah, a fight like this is weird, right? Because I fully expected it to be like Jose Valenzuela making a statement, kind of like reintroducing himself back onto the scene. But I'm in like a weird spot where I don't really know where either of them go from here. Because even though Colbert won, I feel like he's way too small for 135. I don't think he's good enough as well for either 135 or 130. I think Hector Garcia whoops his ass again, frankly. And with Jose Valenzuela, man, like I was severely disappointed with him. In his performance, and I don't think I don't think he could fuck with Edwin De Los Santos again. I don't think he got the ability. I don't think he got the chin, the punch resistance. I don't think he got the ring IQ to break into like a top 15. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Like they're just weird.
Bad though. Like his tank looked bad. He let me see who else was it. It was two people. I said it was. So first, and I was earlier. I was watching the Murataya fight, and he looked like he had a bad. You see, Murataya got dropped like in the first round. Did you see that?
Right. Yeah.
So he got dropped early, and I'm thinking did Ryo have a problem because he is 5'9", making 135 pounds? Like that's cool, 5'9", 5'10", but that shit ain't easy. I know it ain't, and he growing. Like that dude only 23 years old.
Who that? You talking about Ryo?
Yeah, Ryo only 23.
Yeah, I'm not, and I understand. He's still young. But right now, I don't know. I'm not high on Cobra. And me looking at Cobra, I don't know. I think he's still with Cobra, to be honest. But still, I don't. It's real hard for me to see right now. I guess when he gets 25, 26, I'll see. But right now, so I don't know.
I'm struggling to remember, but I feel like even in the Austin Dulé fight, I feel like he started to slow down a little bit. It seems like Jose Valenzuela is like one of those guys that fight in spurts, kind of like Canelo, but I mean, purely off just how he fights in spurts, throw like a punches and bunches and just cool down for a few rounds or for 2-3 minutes, whatever.
But the thing was, PV, he was breaking Austin Dulé the fuck up.
Right.
Remember that? He was breaking. That was my thing because again, I know Colbert hasn't been he been dropped twice now, but I know. Remember, Colbert packed it in. I'm thinking bruh, the Ryo that I know, he was a big puncher. That's what I know him for being. So I was just surprised that Chris Colbert was able to just keep holding on like that. A smaller guy moving up. That shit really tricked me.
But I again though, I think Ryo was punching himself out some of them rounds. I agree with Vivi. I think he gave some rounds away because he was tired.
No, but listen to what I'm saying. Yeah, he punched himself out. But what I'm saying is he hurting Colbert, right? He's now the Ryo we seen before. He hurting Colbert, right? So that's a fact. He hurting Chris Colbert. But it's he just couldn't get him out. And the Ryo that we know is a finisher. We know Ryo for finishing motherfuckers. And all he could do was just hurt Colbert. You get me? And then a lot of times Colbert had him on the back foot.
Yeah, that was my takeaway from the fight as well. I was very confused when especially after hearing him in the first round. I was like, okay, well, Ryo's a really good finisher. This is going 2 rounds, 3 rounds, and he did nothing.
And to me, right, with Chris Colbert, for fighters like Chris Colbert, to me, it's weird because he got the talent to do it. There's just something about it, just he not gonna last long.
I'll tell you one thing, Chris Colbert be having that chin in the air like Ryan Garcia. That
motherfucker.
That motherfucker.
Hey, I thought he went to sleep, D. I thought he went to sleep first round.
Yeah, me too.
Ryo does the same shit though too. He has his chin in the air like Ryan too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that shit bad work.
So we can all agree that Ryan going to sleep.
Yeah, I feel like that. I've been feeling like Ryan going out.
Do you think the Edwin De Los Santos fight might have played an effect on Rayo's finishing ability? Because I mean, he hurt Edwin De Los Santos. I believe he dropped him in like the first round, and he started to pounce on him, and then he got clipped himself. So maybe he was a little bit more hesitant rather than just like not being able to finish him.
No, it could. So if you ask me, VV, it could be the AJ effect. It could be the AJ Andy Ruiz effect, maybe. But what I'm saying is, he hurt him so many times, he just couldn't finish him. Some guys is like some guys just not going. Maybe Chris Cobra one of them guys. Maybe he just not going. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he didn't go with Hector Garcia. I thought he was gonna go that fight. He's not going to it.
Hey, my man Rito, you was right in my head, bro. You was right in my mind. Joey Spencer versus Xander Zayas in the mid-off at Top Rank after Spencer get cut by.
Wow. I forgot about Xander Zayas.
Yup. Because that shit I had tweeted too. That shit gave me Tank Pedraza vibes. Like the way he just like that was like, what the fuck was Joey Spencer thinking? What was his the game plan was staying toe to toe with Jesus Ramos? That was it. He didn't do nothing else, bro. He didn't do nothing, bro. Like he didn't like after the first round when he was walking back to the corner after he had got you could clearly see like that was it. Like, I don't know what that was probably that was like probably the worst game plan all year.
Let me ask you this too. Do y'all think he was ready for that type of work?
He called the act for it. He called for it. That's what he said. He said, I called the act.
Yeah, he should have did that.
I mean, I don't think he was ready for it, but I don't think he'd ever be ready for Jesus Ramos, and I definitely don't think he'd ever be ready fighting like that. I mean, Joey Spencer's not a bad boxer, but like going in there, especially with someone like Jesus Ramos, who's a very talented offensive fighter, but also like very visibly at least a weight class heavier than you, and going toe to toe, like something's not adding up.
He looked real small. He looked real small in there against Spencer.
I got a theory in my head or a belief in my head that boxing. This is just me. I could be wrong, but 99% of the time, when a boxer go up against a puncher, I feel like that puncher is going to fucking win. That boxer should go out the window sometimes.
It depends on the gas tank, bro. It depends on the gas tank. Like again, like Caleb Plant, for example. If Caleb Plant was a boxer puncher, he would have had way more success tonight. Caleb Plant did in them first 6 rounds without really even hurting Benevidez for real. He never hurt Benevidez.
Let's never hurt him.
He never hurt
Benevidez's face wasn't even cut enough.
And he was styling on Benevidez early in that fight. Styling on him. Now take that same styling on the motherfucker and add some power to it. Some he knocking sweat off Benevidez's head with them punches. That shit ain't the same, bro. That's a different fight. That's a completely different fight. Some guy, just like Cody Crowley. Cody Crowley, all that shit Cody Crowley was doing, let Cody Crowley I'm trying to think who a good boxer, any of the top.
Stanionis,
he
have been Cody Crowley up.
Yeah, I didn't understand. Listen, so when I watched, it could have been different because, all right. So when I watched Cody Crowley, I couldn't really see too much because he fought Omar Figueroa, right?
No, he fought Abel Ramos.
Oh, Abel Ramos fought
yeah, he did.
Omar Figueroa. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense.
Facts.
I'm getting mixed up. But when I watched, it was another fight that I think I watched with Crowley. I didn't see him banging like that. I'm like, man, he ain't gonna last long either when he get with somebody because he was getting hit with some shit.
Who that?
He was Cody Crowley. He was getting hit when them power punches that Ramos was throwing. He was getting hit.
Yeah, he almost that motherfucker glove was a 2 centimeters from hitting the floor, yo.
Yeah, he had some strong legs. He had the Megan knees.
Hey, you see, my man Johnny said, I really don't understand what Joey Spencer asked for this ass whooping. Like when you see shit on news and they say like suicide by cop, like a motherfucker got a gun and he just pull it out by the police so they could shoot him. I feel like that's what Joey Spencer did. It was just like, you know what? Like, who can I see? Who can I call to get my ass whooped? You know what I'm saying?
Wow. And,
Like,
but why so early? Like you threw yourself out to because this day and time when you lose, man, that shit John, like you wrap that shit up, hang your gloves up. So why would you ask for this ass whooping that fucking
but
early?
I think they're gonna get Joey Spencer back in there. Like he one of them guys. Like I think he could beat the lower talent, but I just think I don't know, man. Maybe he need to be at welterweight. He looked at. Like, I mean, maybe Jesus Ramos just big, but he looked at way smaller than bro. Like he looked small in there, bro.
What he was I tweeted that too, true. He was small compared to Jesus Rumble. Like he looked like you can see it was a major difference between the body size and
Yeah. I ain't. Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, real quick, this is the point I was trying to make. When Farley going, he was in the field with it. He was toe to toe with it. That wasn't no slouch in Abel Ramos, but like he was throwing them bitches with Ugas.
Who
Yeah, but
Ramos?
he buckled Ugas a few times in that fight. So
Yeah,
like Cody
he
Collins, he
did.
got a chin on him.
Yeah, but let me see something. Remember, right? Abel Ramos was already coming off a loss, so it ain't like you fighting Abel Ramos off of, you know what I mean? He was just coming off a loss. So I mean, yeah, that was 2 losses in a row. And mind you, and then he coming off a loss. He already 31 years old. Well, I guess he 31 ain't bad, but you coming off a loss and a 13-month layoff.
He's also a very old 31 because he's been in so many wars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he been in some wars.
Yeah, I made a tweet about him earlier where, like, every time I watch him fight, it feels like overdosing. Like, because it's always like he is taking some like serious punishment.
Yeah, but I think they just running out of guys. Like, that's what happened. Like, for example, you get motherfuckers and put their resumes on sale. He got Jamal James on his resume. He lost to Jamal James, but he got Baranchek on his. Remember, he had that fucking fight with Baranchek. You know what I'm saying? He got stopped by Regis Prograis. You get what I'm saying? Like, he got a lot of names, like a lot of experience. Baranchek, Regis Prograis, Jamal James. Let me see. He got Francisco Santana, who's he got Brian Perella. He got a knockout win over Perella, who we seen fucking give Tony everything he could handle. You get what I'm saying? He knocked out Omar Figueroa in 6 rounds. He had him fucking throwing up blood in the corner. Crazy work. You know what I'm saying? He went 12 with Ugas. You get me? He went 10 with Cody Crowley. I mean, not with Cody Crowley. He went 10 with Santa Maria. And Santa Maria, he was winning that fight early, but Ramos gassed out. So you're gonna see Ramos again. Don't be surprised.
Wait. Stop right there real quick. I don't think he gassed out before he started losing that fight.
Talking about Santa Maria?
Yeah, I think Santa Maria was winning that fight. You talking about who gassed out?
No, I'm saying that
You saying that Abel Ramos gassed out in that Santa Maria fight?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Man.
You don't think
I
so?
think Santa Maria started winning some of them rounds before
Santa Maria.
Abel Ramos.
He good. He ain't no bum. He ain't no. And listen, I tweeted that. That speaks to how good Santa Maria is, because we just seen him in there with Jesus Ramos, and Jesus Ramos wasn't doing none of that shit.
Yeah, no, I really like that comment because I don't think that was any of Jesus Ramos' doing either. I think Luke Santa Maria is just a very underrated boxer. You can even refer to his fights, with like Paul Kroll, Michael Fox. Like he's a very talented boxer.
That shit, yeah. Then he beat Devin Alexander too.
Right.
And that was my.
He beat Paul Kroll.
That was my take on this fight. Is I thought Cody Crowley was gonna come in here and just outbox Abel. I thought Abel Ramos was gonna struggle with boxers here. But he came in and gave a fight that Abel Ramos wanted. And they went to war.
Yeah, we're gonna see, man. Damn, yo. That shit, that was a real good fight. I don't know where Joey Spencer go next though. Joey Spencer, and next he gonna have to take a tough fight. He gonna have to take like a Yoelvis Gomez, or like, I wouldn't mind seeing Yoelvis Gomez in there with Ramos. With Ramos, I think that's a good fight. see. Joey had the worst game plan I ever seen, bro. It was tough. It was a tough man. The first round shit was sad to watch.
I don't know how he was able to see a game plan. Like
they didn't have one. It was clear they didn't have one.
Right, bro. I ain't see no type of game plan. Fuck worse. I didn't see none at all, bro. Like whatever game plan he had went out the window when he got mauled in the first round.
Yeah, he I don't know. He lost me with that one.
Oh, and I took a few notes too from what they just so I could come back with y'all. One thing I noticed that David was he kept mentioning was that he wanted to display his defensive skills. How y'all rate his defense today if you had to rate it 1 through 10? Because he's saying this and that about his defense, but I didn't think that was like something where I'm like, oh shit, we saw a new defensive David. But how did y'all rate his defense from the night?
Same, mid. I didn't see. No, I mean, David Benevidez, like again, just like Cody Crowley, some guys is who they gonna be. David Benevidez, you know what he coming with, and that's what make him such a draw, because you know what David Benevidez is coming with. It's just, can you stop it? Can you stop it? Like he's never gonna be the best defensive guy. Plant was making him miss. He was like fucking overcommitting on a lot of his shots. He was whiffing. He was not establishing the jab. I mean, to say your goal was to get better on defense, why? It's not like Caleb Plant punching like that. Caleb Plant not no huge puncher that you need to be like, oh, I got to improve my defense for this fight. I just think Benevidez is who he is. Like he a good fighter. He a great fighter.
And him being who he is was the script to that fight anyway. Like you say, that's not the kind of fight where you want to work on defense.
Yeah.
But the next thing he mentioned was he felt like he could have got the knockout if Kenny would have stopped Caleb from clinching as much. How you feel about that?
We all felt like that.
Yeah, he was like when he started saying it, he was like, and I don't want to throw Kenny. He was like, I don't want to throw Kenny under the bus, but if he would have just at least warned him and made him stop holding this much, I knew I would have clipped him.
Yeah. Hey, Rito said that Keith Thurman should try to fight Cody Crowley next, since he's not getting that.
I responded to that. I responded to that down there already, man. That Crowley fight ain't gonna be a big enough bag for Keith Thurman for his farewell fight.
So who he gonna fight? Boots?
He gonna either have to fight Boots. He could even make more money fighting. It's more 47 money fights out there for him. He'll even make more money fighting what's his name, who just lost on that same card Boots was on?
Rashidi?
Yeah, he'll make more money fighting Rashidi.
Let me tell you something. Look at the rankings. Rashidi, we are about to get Rashidi Ellis and Alexis Rocha too. Mark my words.
Yep. I know the WBC order. What's it called? Ugas versus Barrios. But I mean, I think Keith should go fight Ugas, and Cody Crowley should fight Barrios personally.
Yep. That's good work.
I'm excited to see who next for Crowley for sure.
Yeah.
And then
we gotta stop that story though. We understand. Like I feel for him, but he gotta stop that now.
Hey, so let me ask y'all this, right? If you putting yourself in the mind of Canelo, who always mentioning, that Bivol fight that you can always hear that he want to avenge that shit. Do you honestly think, like in front of the mind of Canelo, that a fight against Maul or David or any other one of them guys at 68 or 60 is in his sights over a Bivol rematch?
No. And I don't even think that, but listen, you got to think Canelo is an old 31, bro. If Canelo get like knocked out by David Benevidez, it's over with. It's over with. He can't go back down to 160 because nobody there. He can't go up to 175. He's not big enough. If he take a loss to like a Benevidez, he got to stay at 168. So the question is, how do we best navigate around 168? I don't think he take a Benevidez fight or a Plant fight until literally Canelo ready to hang it up and retire. I don't.
But
who you talking about?
But he can't win a Bivol rematch. So knowing that you can't win that shit, it'll almost make you want to fight one of the 68 guys where you got a better chance. That's what I'm.
But you gotta think, Cal, he Mexican and it's for legacy. If I'ma lose to a nigga, I'd rather lose to a nigga so I can say I went to 175 because I wasn't comfortable with my loss. I'm not gonna lose to a nigga who I've been saying don't fight with nobody and need to do this and need to do that and they need to fight each other and then they do fight each other and then the nigga wash me. Because if he lose to Benevidez gonna wipe him down.
It's true.
And it's not gonna be no that shit that we saw with Caleb Plant. It ain't gonna be none of that. If Canelo was gonna fight Benevidez, he should have fought him tonight. All of them big show nerves, that shit done with. That shit over with.
Yeah, he's supposed to have been the first one to catch him.
I'm telling you, just like Boots. Listen, Boots had the nerves. I personally feel like Boots had the nerves. He was trying to put on a show. I don't think we're gonna get that type of performance for that guy from that guy again.
Boots gonna beat the shit out of anybody else. I don't think anybody cares.
What'd you say, bro?
He said Boots gonna beat the shit out of everybody else. I just don't think Canelo got the room to be regrouping. Like he'd take the loss to Bivol, put that in his back pocket, then probably come back down on 168 and fight one of them. If he take a loss to one of them, he ain't gonna get the Bivol fight again. Eddie giving Canelo easy money over there. That's what you got to understand. Like, you know what I mean? Money talk, bullshit, run a marathon. Like, why would I take a Benevidez fight for 50 million when I could take John Ryder for 40 million?
If I'm Canelo, I don't want to fight Benevidez again. Why would I want two areas by the same person? Fuck that shit. Keep it moving and whoop up on Berlanga.
Yeah.
Man, if we just need one of them things to happen like what John. Nah, I was about to say the wrong thing. We don't need John Ryder to put on a good performance because then they're gonna be talking rematch. We need Canelo to watch him, and then we need something big after that.
Yeah, my bad. I was saying I wouldn't want to fight Bivol again and take another L for what? I don't want that on my record when I can just beat up on these other cam motherfuckers mid and get some money for it.
So you think he taking the cab route all the way out?
Why not?
I feel you.
I mean, Canelo's options at this point are very limited. You have like the Bivol rematch. You have Berlanga, Charlo. I mean, you can consider Andrade an option, I guess. Benevidez. I mean, I can't really think of anybody else outside of that.
That don't sound like options wearing out. That sounds like options from the kind of fights that he prefer to fight wearing out. But that sounds like a lot of options.
Hey, look, Cal.
I mean, it's not really that many options. Like, because you do that in what, like 2-3 years. He gonna have to fight Benevidez.
Hey, you know what? Tell me everything that I feel like I needed to know. Canelo wasn't there tonight.
Okay, then we see you. Okay, then.
Canelo wasn't there tonight, and I feel like that told me everything that I need to see.
You say he wasn't there?
Yeah, he wasn't there tonight,
and he ain't tweet nothing.
Yeah, I mean, well, I know Canelo not no big tweeter, but why wouldn't you be at this fight?
You're right.
Your weight division, you the king. This really like
man, though. But when you the man, though, you don't really go to that shit. I don't know, but he don't give us all that though. He never gave us all that. Like, he don't show up. He don't be
at who fight he popped up at? I don't know, but Canelo will pop up at a fight.
Yeah,
I've never really seen him at a fight outside of like his stablemates, and I know he like doesn't watch boxing like at all.
Canelo gonna be at that Tank fight. Remember, he said Tank was one of his favorite boxers.
Yeah, for him not to watch boxing.
And then you know he want to see what happened. He want to see what happened with Ryan. He gonna be there.
Yeah, he definitely playing Ryan gets knocked out.
Yeah, he gonna be at that motherfucker.
Hey, Ryan fuck around going there with some no boxing, no life gloves on.
What you say, bro?
Ryan gonna go in the ring with some no boxing, no boxing, no life gloves on and troll Canelo. Damn, yo.
The WBA president tweeted that he wants to make the Morrell and Benevidez fight, which makes sense because I know they wanted to make that fight last year.
He tweeted that he think the WBC should make that fight.
I mean, that shit's
order
on him. That shit's on him. He's the Morel, the WBA champion. So
What he tweet? What he say?
Hold on, man, because that shit had came up. I thought he said something about the WBC should order that fight. If I am mistaken, let me go back and find it. It say WBA President Gilberto Mendoza has suggested that the WBC mandatory David Benevidez should face WB. Okay, well, yeah, I read it too fast. He just made a suggestion that the WBC mandatory David Benevidez should face WBA mandatory David Morrell next, with the winner to then challenge Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed all belts. But let me ask you, when it comes to stuff like that, when somebody rank, don't they lose their ranking in one of the other ones? Like, how that shit work when both of them ranked in two different shits?
It just depends, because really what that would be was you would be he would that would essentially make whoever win that fight would essentially be the mandatory in the WBC and the WBA. Remember when they was trying to make the chart look, they was trying to make the Benevidez and Andrade. Remember, Benevidez was number 1 at 168 with in the WBO. And remember they was trying to make the Andrade fight, and it was like whoever win that fight between Andrade and Benevidez, they was going to be the mandatory from the WBC and the WBO. It's like a super fucking mandatory, whatever that means. But you get what I'm saying?
Okay.
yeah, and the thing here is like Morel is the WBA regular champion, or like their interim champion, and then Benavidez is the WBC's interim champion. So at that point you'd have like 2 interim titles.
I just thought you couldn't be ranked in both.
You could be ranked in, as long as a champion can't be ranked in more than one sanctioning body. Like if you're the WBC champion, you're not going to be ranked in none of the other sanctioning bodies,
right? Because
they cannot force a champion to fight somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, this fight's definitely on the table. If you remember last year, there was progress to make that fight happen when Benavidez was, already the WBC interim champion, but Morel had already been ordered to fight Yerbosa.
I interviewed Sampson, and he said that they was trying to make that fight. Now, David said that was cat, but you know what I mean? We'll see. You definitely gonna see. That was a good fight, though. That was some good work.
Damn,
yeah, so David better hope that shit's capped, to be honest.
We got Ryan fight next week. When Robisi fighting Dogbo. Remember that was supposed to be Ryan fight.
Ryan who?
Garcia. Ain't Ryan Garcia was supposed to fight on April 1st?
He was supposed to fight in January. Ryan Garcia had the date that we saw Alexis Rocha on. He was supposed to fight that January, was it 22nd or whatever the fuck that was?
Okay. Yeah, 28th.
So we got that Robisi brother. Excuse me, y'all, versus Dogbo. Then we got Anthony fight on Saturday.
Yeah. Hey, that's my birthday too.
Man, shit, man. Happy birthday to come, Brody. What you got going?
You said when your birthday?
Next Saturday.
Oh, next Saturday, okay. Yeah, what you about to do?
Shit, that's why I'm going to that Shakur fight the week after.
I know a bitch could never fool you, man. You was born on April Fool. Never. You ain't going for nothing
at all.
Anybody watch the Comey and Jose Ramirez fight? What happened?
Man, Comey was giving him fits, bro.
I knew it was.
He won, but Comey was giving him fits, bro.
Comey is the gatekeeper. Him and Pedraza are the gatekeepers for real, man. Like those real gatekeepers, not them bum ass gatekeepers like JoJo Diaz.
Yeah.
I mean, is it Pedraza or am I thinking about Zepeda? No,
you think about Pedraza.
Yeah, Pedraza. Yeah, those are gatekeepers for real. Man. They gonna give you some buck.
It don't matter how
they live with each other to a draw.
It don't matter how many fights. It don't matter how many fights Comey lose. He gonna put up that fight, and if you want to make it to that next level, you definitely got to get through him.
You gotta go through him. You gotta go through him.
It's true.
Yeah,
Ain't no
I didn't watch that top rank card, but it seemed like the only good performance was Richard Torres at a ring card girl. But that's another thing. Jose Ramirez goes life or death with everybody, so I'm not even surprised he went life and death with Comey. But it did seem like I saw the stoppage. It seemed like Comey kind of quit, man. Like I didn't even see that punch land. He go take a knee, so I don't know. I don't know.
wait. Richard Torres is really a ring card girl.
Yeah, he was.
Nigga crazy.
He's
Yeah,
mastered
they
the art
really,
of self promotion. Like
yeah,
he has a great
yeah,
personality. He really
yeah.
understands the game, man. Like I've been
He's a
telling
little,
anybody that'll listen. Richard Torres, he understands how to promote himself.
he understands.
He's gonna
Yeah,
be a star.
Hey,
he built his brand.
let's see what Richard Torres do when he get in the ring with a motherfucker that could blink.
But that's the point I was about to make. He should not be at heavyweight. Go down a level.
Yeah, he need to go down a cruiser.
Nah, he's too big. He's too big too.
That nigga my height.
Man, you can lose some weight.
I mean, yeah. He's only like what 6'2" or whatever, but he's still a pretty thick guy. Pause. But like he's still like what 230.
That nigga better go on a vegan diet like me.
Yeah, man. Listen, if he can make what's the next weight class? What 215?
200.
200.
200? He can get that 30 pounds off.
That's a
I
lot.
don't think he can.
Why you talking like that? Like that's like.
Listen. I'm
I
a
agree.
big, but Richard Torres ain't beating Big Baby Miller, the younger girl, Wilder.
You taking a bad.
He not beating none of them. Even though they on their way out, they getting older, but he's not.
I'm gonna pause B Dog. Yeah, B Dog was breaking up bad. Yeah, but nah, man, that
My bad.
shit.
Y'all hear me? Yeah,
Yeah, you good.
my bad.
Yo, Raymond Morataya, bro. I'm surprised he looked like that tonight.
Yeah, I want to go back and watch that fight. I seen the first 2 rounds, and then I turned it off. So I was going to go back and watch.
I caught the Murataya fight. That fight was so weird to me. Cause like Murataya started off kind of slow. Like his defense was leaky, his guard was weird. Like everything was just weird, right? He was coming on the back foot and everything. Like it was just weird. And then that guy who was fighting, I don't even remember that guy's name. Like he just kind of like froze up after the first round. Like he stopped like set up a shot, stopped using the jab, kind of like got in the range and just froze. Wasn't really like letting his shots off and kind of like gave Murataya the room to get on the front foot. It was weird. I don't know. It was a really weird fight. Really, really weird performance.
I mean, he got the stoppage, but he came out super flat.
Yeah, definitely. I think he respected the guy too much too, because he was giving him way too much room early on, like the first round or so.
Word.
What weight they fight at?
135.
Yeah.
Oh man, send Chris Colbert over there to top rank, man.
Well, they were saying, what's his name? Murataya got Nakatila next.
Yeah. That was supposed to be the fight. That was supposed to be this fight, but I think dude has some issues with a visa or something. Because he was supposed to fight. He was supposed to fight Nakatila tonight.
That's a really good fight, to be honest. Like, if Murataya comes out like he did tonight, man,
He'll get knocked
I don't know.
the fuck out.
He'll get knocked the fuck out, man. Like,
Man.
especially with that Kubrat Pulev fucking high guard that he was rocking for the first like 3-4 rounds, man. Like Nakatila throwing those looping shots that Mexican was throwing, it's night.
Word, nah, that's offending. He going right out. Yeah, man. But I'm gonna jump off here, man. I think I'm probably gonna get on Twitter for a little bit, mingle over there, see what's popping, yelling, screaming.
I'll see y'all boys later, man.
All right, man. I appreciate y'all boys tapping in, man.
Yeah, y'all have a good night.
Yes, sir.